What if you were the most unattractive man in the world, and you didn't even know it? This is exactly how many guys feel, and unfortunately, how many girls actually see them, and oftentimes guys cannot figure out why. Everywhere you look, particularly on social media these days, you constantly see girls chasing after guys who don't need them. Why does this happen? I'm going to give you guys a little glimpse into human psychology, because the more that you understand the psychology behind social dynamics, the closer you guys will be to having what is basically a real-life superpower. So with that said, let's get started. Now, one of the core physiological needs of every human on the planet is the need to feel important. So, when a girl has a guy tripping over himself for her, you would think that she would welcome this, as it would make her feel wanted, and it would make her feel important. Yet, as many of you guys can attest, showing too much interest can actually have quite the opposite effect. Now, what you guys have to understand is men who are too eager, or men who show too much interest, are men who come off as needy, and girls can't stand men who are needy. Now, psychology behind attraction shows us that most girls want a guy who is strong, a guy who is confident, and a guy who is dominant. Now, of course, there will always be exceptions, but on the whole, girls want guys who demonstrate these three important traits. So, how can you avoid being the most unattractive guy on the planet? Let me explain. Imagine you were to send a girl a message, and she doesn't reply. Now imagine you keep sending her more messages, even though she didn't respond to the first ones. Now unconsciously, girls will view this behavior as neediness, because girls are extremely good at reading the implied meaning behind the things that we do. So the implied meaning behind why you might keep messaging a girl over and over again, even after she didn't respond the first time, is basically that you have no other options. Continuing to message a girl after she didn't respond would also imply that you can't handle the emotional effect of being rejected, or the effect of her not talking to you. Now, the word strength when it comes to men mostly means emotional strength. So if you can't handle a simple rejection from a girl, even if it's a fake one, you will automatically disqualify yourself as somebody that she's attracted to. What you guys have to remember is that girls would rather fight over one strong, confident, and dominant male any day of the week than settle for a guy who has no options. That's kind of harsh, but it's just the way that it is. So if you demonstrate to a girl that you are needy, you will come off as a guy who can't attract other girls, which is the likely reason why you can't stop blowing up her phone, because if you were a guy that had other options, you wouldn't be pursuing this girl so aggressively. So to sum it all up, the most unattractive man in the world is a needy man. An easiest way to avoid this is to demonstrate that you are not needy by demonstrating that you do not need the girl that you are interested in. Now, ideally, you will actually have other girls who are interested in you. But if you don't, you can easily give the appearance of this by seeming less interested in her than you are. This is the most unattractive man in the world, and how to avoid being that man. And with that said, you guys are awesome. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.